opening bell. So Tammy is here. Brand new, never looked at a chart in her life, but she can tell me what's going on here. She can also tell me about the big gap down on how to buy one. And she's only been in the free trial and has never traded before. But the nice thing about her is that she's going to learn the characteristics, the behavior of a bottom, the behavior of a big gap down, what it will take on the 3-minute to make its turn, and how to read the vitals, the CCIs getting more positive, meaning that that CCI was negative 371 and now it's only minus that, and that we're going to go up, and that there's a time frame, right, Tammy? There's a time frame to every bottom, as you witnessed from what you're telling me, from what you've learning and witnessed, is that there is a bottom. You kind of make that move, and then you're going to come back down. And on that MACD, one thing that Tammy learned was that the lower that you go, and when you bottom, finally bottom, and you will, that this gap down is going to have support. Okay? And one thing that Tammy was learning was half of the SMF Pro Trader bar, the 3-minute bar. If we come down and hold support there, and we're bottoming there, and we don't break below half of that bar, that means that Apple is putting in a bottom, and we would go long. It cannot go below half of that last bar, that big engulfing bar, right, Tammy? And then the green line, the RSI that Tammy is telling you about, has to also turn and go up in numbers, right? So basically down at the bottom of that RSI, this RSI has to go up in price, percent DS, which is a percent DS. Now, you know that that will have to go up in price. And you know that the percent DA is the slow one, and that when that percent DS gets above that DA and we get into positive territory on the CCI, then we're going to take the risk out because we know that the bounce is for real. We also know that if we move in, we could buy at half of that Pro Trader bar and then keep our stop right below the low so that we would have a stop market order. And that every bottom on the knife hook open, and I had people trade the bottom, but I've had people that have been around here for a couple, 2 or 3 years. They know how to do this. And they bought that number and they hit that. Now, unfortunately on the tape, because it's a free tape to help you learn, so that you know that if you were to come here that you have a way to go. But you're not seeing the mathematical formula. It's something that we don't show the public, other than it works 100%. If you do come for the free 5-day trial and it doesn't do what I say, you can have my school free. That's how accurate our pro trading system is over 30 years. Now, one thing that she did learn was that she knows that Apple trades in the NASDAQ 100. And that the NASDAQ 100 is very weak. She knows that. So she also knows that even though you get the turn here, that it trades in that NASDAQ 100 and the NASDAQ comp. Apple does. So right now, as she can see here, it's at half of that pro trading bar. So if it breaks below it, then that means we haven't quite put the low in. You do not want to see it go below half of the bar. So if it goes below half of that bar and becomes resistance, then we can go lower and look at the Dow sell off. Big sell program hit. But even though the Dow and the NASDAQ, Apple trades in here. So she knows the weakness in the index. She learned that this week. Is that even though that we got a short-term trade and a bounce, we would have been selling it because the index is still very weak, even though independently Apple's putting in a bottom. You've been given a gift, Tammy. I'm very impressed.